Hello! Let's step into a world of love with a Valentine ornament video. Let's explore enchanting designs that capture the heart of the season. Perfect for decorating your space. Hi, my name is Katie from Lady Red Crafting, and let's get started. So this craft starts out with an unusual item, a hair roller from the Dollar Tree. And what I'm going to do here is I'm taking the little circle off of the top of the hair roller. And you can see that there's a metal rod in the hair roller. And that's what we're going to use for our craft. So what we're going to do with this metal rod is I'm going to fold it in the shape of a V, and then we're going to shape it into the shape of a heart. And using the two little hooks on this metal rod, we're going to hook them together. And once you're satisfied with your heart, I'm using a set of pliers and I'm just going to smush down those little hooks so that everything stays in place. So let's grab a spool of twine. And I'm using a 5-inch piece of twine, and I'm going to cut about 20 pieces. It'll just depend on how big your heart is on how many pieces you'll need. And to vary it up with the twine, I'm also going to use some macrame rope, and I'm going to cut those in 5-inch slices as well. And we'll need about 20 pieces of those for this heart. Now we have all of our pieces ready, let's put this all together. I'm taking one of the pieces of twine to start, and I'm making a U shape. And then I'm going to place the heart over the top. Then we'll take the two strings on the end and put that through the U, slide that over the heart and tighten that. Now let's watch that again using the macrame rope. Now this is the fun part. You just repeat this over and over again until the whole entire heart is completely covered with the different twines and macrame rope. Once you are satisfied with your heart, we'll flip the heart over and lay that out flat. Now grab a small bowl and some Mod Podge, and I'm using the matte Mod Podge because I don't want any shine to this little heart. And I'm just spraying a tiny bit of water in there. I'm not using very much, but I just wanted to thin out that Mod Podge a little bit. Now I'm taking a paintbrush and I'm just going to paint where the knots were on the front side of this heart. I need to set that aside to dry for about a half an hour. Once that is completely dried, what we're going to do is untwist all of the twine and the macrame rope around the heart. Now let's comb everything out so everything is nice and straight, and this will remove a lot of fuzz from your twine. Once you're satisfied with your combing, I take a pair of really sharp scissors, and I'm going to start by trimming around the outside edge, leaving about 1 inch of the overhang. And once I've completed that, I'll go ahead and trim it down a little bit more to about a 1/2 inch around the heart. So I wanted to find a way to hang this heart. So I'm taking a really thin piece of twine and I'm going to tie a knot around the heart itself first and then leave the two tails left out so that I could hang this however I'd like. You could tie those together to hang them as an ornament. I haven't decided yet where I'm going to hang this, so I left them open. Now a few final touches. In the center of the heart, I'm going to add a sheer bow, and I'm just hot gluing that to the center. And I thought that that bow needed just a tiny bit more, so I took that same thin twine and I cut another little bow. I'm going to attach that over the top of that sheer ribbon. And now this beautiful little heart is ready to hang. You could hang this on a tiered tray, on top of a photo, or you could put this as an ornament on a tree. So for this craft, we're going to take some small canvases that I got from Walmart and this ready to pour apple barrel paint. For our next step, step here, we're going to prep our little canvases. I'm using a bottle cap and a piece of painter's tape, and I'm taping a bottle cap underneath each one of these canvases. This will lift them up so the paint will have a place to drip off. And to catch all the extra paint, I'm going to use a disposable lid to set everything inside of. Next, I'm going to get my paints ready to go here. And I'm using 3 different colors. There's a black, light blue, and beige. I have a feeling this process is going to be a little bit messy, so I decided to wear some disposable gloves. So with being new to paint and pouring, I am just going to take this in stride, and we're just going to drip a little bit of paint in different colors all over the canvas and see how this goes. I had about 80% of the canvas covered. I went ahead and lifted it up and just lightly slid the paint going in multiple directions until I liked the design. And I did notice that on this first canvas, I got a few little bubbles. So once we're done moving around the paint, we're going to set that down, and I'm going to grab a skewer. And taking that skewer, I just went ahead and popped any of the bubbles. When I was done popping the bubbles, I decided, let's just go ahead and do a little design using the skewer and the paint and see what it looks like. So I just kind of moved the paint around a little bit using my skewer. And as I said, there's no right or wrong way to do this with the paint. It's just whatever you like that makes you happy. Next, we just repeat this on the other 2 little canvases. And each time they turned out a little bit different. And I felt like the more I did this, the better they started looking. When I got to the 3rd painting, I started doing a little bit more of a design with my paint, and I ended up doing almost 90% of the painting with the paint. So I did do a little bit more paint, but the swirls turned out really nice in that last one. So you can kind of see you want 80 to 90% of the canvas covered when you're doing these cute little paintings. And once you finish pouring paint on your little canvases, I set these aside for overnight so that they will have plenty of time to dry. So for the next step here, I'm using a package of these hearts that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I just picked a few that I thought would be great to paint, and I'm going to add these later on to my canvas. So what I did here is I just added a little painter's tape so I could tape those down to a paintable surface, which makes them so much easier to paint so they're not moving around on you. You're wondering why I'm going with these different colors for Valentine's Day? My daughter is anti-pink, and so I wanted to make something that I thought she might like. So that's why I'm using blue and black and off-white, just because I thought my daughter would really like something that was not pink. And if you didn't catch the earlier slide, I was using plaster paint for this off-white. It's from Waverly Chalk Paint. So 24 hours later, we're going to start putting together our little canvas ornaments. I'm taking these ornaments and I'm going to add a 1/4 inch thick ribbon to each canvas, and I'm just going to hot glue them to the back. This will be a great hanger for these, and I felt like that off-white ribbon just really mellowed everything out and made it look really nice. Now that we have our ribbon attached, we're going to flip these back over and we're going to grab our hearts that we painted earlier. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hot glue some of these hearts on top of the paintings. And we're going to do 2 hearts on this first one here and a single heart on the last one. And for the center canvas, we're going to leave that one blank without any hearts or charms. Let me know in the comments below what you think you like best, with the heart or without the hearts. Hello! Let's take a quick break from the craft to discuss my recent experience with Teddy Blake purse. Join me for an unboxing and hear my thoughts on this stylish accessory. Let's start with the design. This purse I have here is a 9-inch Ava, and it's truly a statement piece. The attention to detail is remarkable. From the hardware to the luxurious Italian leather, it's a perfect blend of elegance and sophistication. Now moving on to the practicality. The size is just right. It's spacious enough to carry all your essentials without being bulky. The interior is well thought out with multiple pockets for easy organization. One thing that stands out is its craftsmanship. Teddy Blake is known for their commitment to quality, and you can feel it in the sturdy construction of this purse. The Italian leather is luxurious and has a beautiful finish. This is truly a designer bag. What I love about this purse is whether you're heading to the office, going out for a casual day, or attending a special event, this purse complements any outfit. It is a timeless piece that adds a touch of class to every look. I've received numerous compliments on this bag, and I appreciate the fact that it's not just a fashion statement, but also a practical accessory for my daily life. It has become my go-to bag. Summing it up, Teddy Blake's purse nails it in style, quality, and functionality. If you're into chic, timeless accessories at a fair price, this one is a winner. As a thank you for tuning in, check out my description box for a 30% off coupon. If you like this review, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get back to crafting. So for this craft, we're going to make a ornament using a wood ornament from the Dollar Tree. I'm taking a napkin and I'm taking a little piece of painter's tape, and I'm just going to take the top layer of the napkin off of the napkin. And with this napkin, I'm going to cut 2 of the square quadrants out, one for either side of this ornament. Let's start out by taking a little piece of painter's tape and tape down our wood ornament to a paintable surface. Once we have done that, I am using some Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster, and we're going to give a nice thick coat of paint over the top of this ornament. Once the paint has completely dried, I grab some Mod Podge and we're going to paint a nice coat over the top of the paint. And now that our Mod Podge is dry, I grab our piece of napkin and we're just going to layer that over the top of the Mod Podge. Next, I use a piece of parchment paper and lay that right over the top of the napkin. And using my heat press iron, I iron right over the top of the parchment paper, allowing the Mod Podge to warm up and allow the napkin to adhere to the piece of wood. Now this technique, we are going to go straight into sanding the napkin off of the wood ornament because we do not want any Mod Podge over the top of this to adhere to the surface when we're doing the next set of Mod Podge on the opposite side. So leaving it just the bare napkin will help with that. Trust me, I've tried it the wrong way and it did not turn out pretty. And once you are satisfied with the front of your ornament, we're going to flip the ornament over and repeat all of the same steps. Now that we have the ornament decoupage on both sides of the ornament, we're going to take our Mod Podge and do a sealing coat over the top of both sides. So it does take about a half an hour for it to dry completely, so you're not having anything stick on the counter when you're working with the surface. So just give yourself some patience and just flip them over when you need to seal the opposite side. Once everything is dry, you can go ahead and add your hanger to your ornament. I decided to add a quick sheer bow to the top of my heart, and I just hot glued that to the center. And here is what our finished ornament looks like. I love how this turns out. And for more decoupage fun, click on this video that's recommended. And please remember, craft more, stress less.